Hi, everyone. We're here at the backstage interviews for the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver. We have Andrew Pollard, who is president and CEO of Blackrock Silver. Andrew, thanks for being here.
It's always great to be here with you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Andrew. Why don't we jump right into it? A lot of companies would be happy to have one or two exciting projects. You have three. I'll let you run through them for us, and I'll let you take your pick.
Yeah.
Start where you think people should know the most right up front.
Well, listen, everyone that's seen me present here, I don't know how many times I've presented at Metals Investors Forum at the invitation of you, quite a few times, but also David Morgan, Brian London, and all of those were always centered around our first discovery, which is Tonopah West. We took that from first drill hole in June of 2020 to maiden resource estimate in May of last year, establishing it as one of the highest grade undeveloped silver projects in the entire industry in a market where, the main silver producers like Mexico and Peru right now are doing everything they can to chase away investment. We're sitting on a discovery right next to a town on private land in Nevada with some serious size potential. Within a year of our first drill hole at Tonopah, we had First Majestic come in not once but twice as a strategic investor, which is pretty unheard of for an early stage discovery. Within 2 years, as I was saying, we put out a resource and we were included in the Global X Silver Miners Index, like the largest silver ETF in the world. There's only 35 companies in there. We're the smallest one, but it's truly a legit discovery with some serious growth potential behind it. In our search for gold and silver down in Tonopah, we staked a hell of a lot around ground right around our private land holdings, and we did a scout exploration program there last year trying to hit some gold and silver. We didn't. We hit lithium though in every single drill hole, and we quickly brought in a partner there, and we've got an earn-in established with a company called Tierlac, who have just completed their first phase of drilling on there. They went to twin our holes with core. They were getting great. Like, our discovery was pretty good. It lines up really well with some other really well-known lithium discoveries on that belt. It's some of the largest resources in North America happen to be right next door to us. It's not just the silver district in Tonopah. Who knew? But these guys came in. They started spending their own money on it, which is fantastic in a market like this. They drilled an area 7.2 square kilometers. Every single drill hole hit thick zones of lithium, well above any sort of cutoff that would be used on a project like that. And it looks big. And this is like right at surface. This would be the cover rock for us. Now, the genius behind that deal is, while these guys are advancing this project and they have to spend $15 million US just to earn in, we get all that data because we still think there's a lot of gold and silver hiding at depth below, but we get a piggyback off all the data they're generating just on the lithium. So that deal, it just includes the top 200 meters, like the surface down to 200 meters. And as they're drilling, we're getting access to all this geochemistry, we're trying to find all the smoke that can help point us in the right direction to find gold and silver down there. Now, all of our valuation right now is completely tied to Tonopah. I mean, we're our ounce in the ground right now, we're trading in line with other high-grade stories like Vizsla or Dolly Varden. But, these ounces are trading for 1/3 of what they were just last year. In February last year, high-grade stories were commanding about $3 to $3.50 an ounce in the ground. Today, all of our stories are trading for $1. I mean, leverage works both ways in a declining market. Obviously risk capital has just been sucked dry. TSX volumes are at a 10-year low, probably longer. But we're still tied to these real ounces in the ground. So this lithium discovery is not priced in, and there will be fundamental value laid out when they put a resource on it by the end of the year, which is what they're saying. And as I said, it's 7.2 square kilometers. Oh, and we're right next door to a $5 billion NPV project on the lithium side. There's some upside potential there, and it's not baked in. But what's really exciting, and the reason I'm wearing a tie today, first time I've done it without raising money. We're not raising any money. We don't need to. But this is the most exciting program we've got in years since we started drilling Tonopah, and that's to follow up on a new discovery we made at the end of last year, where we hit the highest grade structure we've ever encountered as a company. It's on our Silver Cloud project in northern Nevada. This is sandwiched in between two of the highest grade historic mines in Nevada mining history, and we're the missing link between the two systems. Both of those systems point directly right at our property. We hit 70 grams gold and 600 grams silver over 1.5 meters. And most importantly, We unlocked our understanding. We now know where the structure is. We now know which way it's running. It looks a lot like the Midas mine, which is directly north and on trend of us. And our discovery looks like it's pointing directly up there. We think this is the extension of that same system that they mined at Midas, 3 million ounces of gold at 30 grams per ton head grade. That was one of the highest grade mines in the industry in the early 2000s. And we've just had our eureka moment, and that's not priced in either. I mean, this is a really cool program because there's nothing like making a new discovery. At Tonopah, I mean, hell, we're heading into Tonopah in 2020. We'd gone from like 37 cents down to 7 cents. We lost 82% of our market value. People were calling for my head. It was the sky was falling. There was no bottom. And when we hit at Tonopah, I had a lot of fun reading those reviews a month later because we hit $1.60.
Exactly.
There's something about making new discoveries. Tonopah is more advanced now. That growth, we've got upside potential there. We're backstopped by real ounces, but at Silver Cloud, there's not many companies in the industry right now that are following up on a multi-ounce gold and silver discovery like that. And as I said, if all of our valuation right now is tied to Tonopah, then that means we're writing this discovery for free, and we're fully financed. We've got drills heading there in the next couple of weeks to start drilling out, and we're going to offset that discovery. We're going to try and drill out 500 meters of strike on this. We know the grade potential that area of Nevada is known for. We know what we've hit, and we think this could be something we think this could be a monumental discovery that has been about 20 years in the making. This is a project that Placer Dome once had when my chairman Bill was running their exploration. This is a project that Teck once had. We just made the discovery that those guys couldn't, and we did it on a 3 drill hole program.
Amazing, amazing. Well, you're making my job easy because I haven't had to ask you anything so far. But I do want to ask you, so at Silver Cloud, who are some of the neighbors? What kinds of size of mines and deposits do they have? And what does that potentially mean?
This is the richest gold mining area, certainly in North America, probably the world. I mean, we're right next door to the Carlin Trend, which is the largest gold mining complex out there right now. But we're actually right next. We're the donut hole in the middle of Hecla Mining's claim block up there. They own the Hollister mine and mill, and they own the Midas mine and mill. Hollister, the veins go east-west. They produced at a head grade of 34 grams per ton in 2014. I saw a mining.com article that said it was the second highest grade producing mine in the world. We're also on trend of Midas, and what we hit is oriented. It looks so much like the same sort of structural architecture. The veins are exactly Midas style. What we hit, they produced 3 million ounces at 30 gram per ton head grade. That's where Pierre Lassonde made his name. That's where Franco changed their business model and actually started operating a mine and building it. And these are 2 very, very high grade historic discoveries. I mean, also in the area is Jarrett Canyon, which, our shareholder, that's about 30, 40 miles just north of us. I mean, that's trucking distance. The nice thing about Silver Cloud versus Tonopah is at Silver Cloud, there's so many mills that are already built and hungry for ore. We don't have to build anything. We just need to find it.
Sure.
And I've got a hell of a geologist, and he's pretty good at finding it. And now what we've got are like this structure that you don't need kilometers and kilometers and kilometers of strike at these grades. Exactly. That the 2 projects that we're right in the middle of, a little bit will go a long way. And if you want something that'll move the needle without much risk involved, that's this upcoming program. Because as I said, we're backstopped by high grade ounces anyways. If our valuation somehow falls much lower, than our peers, well, someone buys us.
Right.
So this is really a free kick at the can on a multi-ounce gold discovery in the best mining jurisdiction in the planet. And you've got the lithium resource coming down the pipe and probably within 6 months. I mean, there's a lot going for it right now. Stock chart looks horrible, but no one rings a bell at the bottom in terms of value. It's not going to ever get any better than this. So, I own 5 million shares, and I've been putting my money where my mouth is, putting 300 grand into the market in just the last year. If I had any more, I mean, I might have to start an OnlyFans or something if it gets any cheaper, because there's so much value at these levels, and there's nothing like a new discovery. And Silver Cloud's a new discovery with the makings of something really special.
I do agree. I think that not just with your shares. I mean, and what's happening with you is reflective of what's happening with others in the industry, peers, and so on. The silver price, etc. But this is how bottoms are formed. Lack of conviction and low sentiment,
Right.
and that's what brings in a bottom, and those who can recognize it are the ones who benefit from it.
Yeah, this is a low volume sell off this year across the board. As I said, TSX Venture volumes 10-year low. Problem is when people want to get back in, everyone tries to do it at once, and it's a lot of volume and it moves quickly. And there's nothing stopping us moving forward. We've got a hell of a lot of room to run here, and yeah, it's these new discoveries which can make the headlines and captivate some attention. So
Excellent.
looking
So
forward to it.
do you want to just summarize maybe the catalysts we have on each of the projects that we can look forward to this year?
Well, we've crystallized some significant upside potential at Tonopah, but there's no point, raising a ton of money when ounces are trading for a third of what they were. So those ounces have been there for 15 million years. They're not going anywhere. And there's a lot of data out that any corporate looking at it knows, just what the upside's going to be. The lithium, yeah, we've got 7.2 square kilometers drilled out. At grades very comparable to the project next door to us, which has a $5 billion US NPV, not priced in right now to us. And at Silver Cloud, we're following up on a 70 gram per ton gold, 600 gram per ton silver intercept over 1.5 meters. That's well over 110 gram meter gold equivalent intercept discovery hole. And we're walking that forward, and that's not priced in. So I don't know what our biggest project in 5 years' time is going to be or what we'll be remembered for, but I know we've got a hell of a hand right now.
Right.
And sometimes you got to go all in.
Exactly. So plenty of exciting things going on at Blackrock. Certainly an attractive price level for anybody who has been paying attention or wants to do some digging and do some research on their own. I suggest that people do that. The opportunity certainly is there. Thanks for all of that, Andrew.
Much appreciated. Thank you.